Love them or hate them, you can't deny that isekai has become a staple in the landscape of modern anime. While the concept of being transported to another world has been done to death, there's no denying that there's something about it that captivates people, even outside of anime. I mean, if you really think about it, classic stories like Harry Potter and Alice in Wonderland can be classified as isekai, and I don't need to tell you how popular those are. So today, we're going to take a look at the best of the best among them in the world of anime. What's up, anime fans and manga readers? Isekai shows are omnipresent, with every season bringing a handful of shows that transport protagonists to alternate, unfamiliar worlds brimming with magic, peril, dungeons, elves, and more often than not, a collection of dudes or damsels that fall madly in love with the protagonist. These characters, typically average individuals, usually gain incredible powers enabling them to kick major butt, or they're born into some sort of royalty and enjoy their new lives in wealth and influence. In darker entries, however, they must navigate harsh, unforgiving realms where survival hangs by a thread. Regardless of your stance on the genre, isekai remains wildly popular and firmly entrenched in anime culture now more than ever. Even the trashy isekai titles have a certain appeal, offering light, escapist entertainment that demands little from its audience. The nature of the genre lends itself to some level of wish fulfillment, where an average Joe can become the greatest hero of an entire realm in an instant, and perhaps that lends to the genre's appeal. At its best, though, isekai delivers awe-inspiring adventures that blend humor, action, intricate world-building, compelling characters, and stunning animation. To cut through the saturation, here's a look at some of the finest examples of isekai anime that elevate the genre to new heights. We'll start off strong here with a modern classic in the making, Re:Zero. Subaru Natsuki is thrust into a magical world and finds himself with a unique ability, the ability to return to life at a specific checkpoint whenever he dies. Unlike the typical overpowered isekai protagonist, Subaru's ability is a curse rather than a blessing, and the show treats his endless cycle of death and rebirth with grave seriousness. Lacking any particular strength or skill, Subaru is frequently outmatched by horrifying foes, enduring brutal defeats before learning how to outmaneuver them. These harrowing experiences create some shockingly chilling moments, especially for a non-horror anime. It's got solid action, impressive depth to its world, and a genuinely heartwarming romance at its center. By emphasizing strategy and emotional resilience over raw power, Re:Zero offers a refreshing twist on the genre, solidifying its status as one of the best isekai anime. For this next entry, we have to throw it back a little to one of the shows responsible for popularizing isekai in the first place. InuYasha follows Kagome Higurashi, a seemingly ordinary girl who discovers her spiritual powers after being transported to Sengoku-era Japan and releasing the half-demon InuYasha from his seal. When Kagome accidentally shatters the mystical Shikon jewel, she and InuYasha embark on a journey to collect its fragments before they are used for evil, particularly by the demon who initially sealed InuYasha. The series thrives on its straightforward yet charming narrative, blending action-packed adventures with timeless romance tropes. Its delightfully memorable characters and engaging storytelling have solidified InuYasha as a classic shonen anime. Despite its length, the series remains a rewarding and enjoyable watch for fans of the genre, standing the test of time as a beloved favorite. The next spot on our list is a deeper cut than most other shows on this list, but hey, by now you should know that we're pretty big fans of the obscure here on the channel. Besides, The 12 Kingdoms is not just a deep cut, it's a genuinely great watch. Yuko Nakajima doesn't have to die to be transported to another world, but her journey is no less harrowing. A mysterious creature suddenly appears, pledging eternal loyalty before whisking her away to a fantastical realm. The 12 Kingdoms takes a thoughtful, grounded approach to isekai storytelling, blending its magical and fantastic elements with deeply fleshed-out societies and intricate political systems. Yuko undergoes a compelling transformation, evolving from a terrified, uncertain teenager into a confident and wise warrior queen. Her growth is portrayed with a rare sense of realism in the genre, swapping out the usual storytelling shortcuts in favor of gradual mastery and meaningful character development. This deliberate pacing and rich world building make the 12 Kingdoms one of the finest and most unique examples of the isekai genre. Next up, we've got the fantasy comedy juggernaut Konosuba. Death is nothing like Kazuma Sato imagined. Instead of eternal peace in the afterlife, he meets Aqua, a goddess who offers him a chance to reincarnate in a fantasy world to become its savior. Eager for the chance at adventure, but unimpressed with Aqua, Kazuma drags her along, creating a chaotic dynamic from the start. Konosuba has earned a devoted fan base with its clever parody of isekai tropes, flipping the common tropes and cliches on their heads in hilarious fashion. Kazuma isn't a revered hero, but the group's eternal punching bag, while Aqua, a goddess though she may be, is far from being a wise guide and spends more time mocking others than being helpful. This comedic twist on the genre is exactly what makes Konosuba a standout. The core crew is hilarious, the world has unexpected twists and turns, and you never really know just where Konosuba is going to take you next. That Time I Got Reincarnated as a Slime takes our next slot, and for good reason. Former human Rimuru Tempest is reborn as a humble slime, the weakest of all fantasy creatures. However, he soon begins to realize that he might possess far greater powers than he initially thought. This show follows a far more standard shonen trajectory than most other entries on this list today, but hey, it does it refreshingly well. Fans are drawn to the show's lighthearted fantasy tone, vibrant and entertaining characters, and Rimuru's knack for befriending everyone he meets, from dragons to spellcasters. While Rimuru's overwhelming power is impressive, his charisma shines brighter, enabling him to achieve far more through diplomacy and friendship than through magic. When stuff hits the fan and it's time to throw down, Slime does it remarkably. All these and more solidify the anime's status as one of the best isekai series. This next slot goes to what is perhaps the most unconventional and unsettling pick of the lot, Sunny Boy. Written and directed by Shingo Natsume, known for One Punch Man, Space Dandy, and Boogie Pop and others, Sunny Boy delivers an unconventional coming-of-age tale with a surreal twist. A group of students and their entire school building is transported to a mysterious island where some develop unique supernatural abilities. Beyond that, well, the plot of the show really can't be explained, you just have to see it to believe it. These powers shift the group's dynamics, creating intense and often unsettling moments. Sunny Boy is unpredictable, disjointed, and leaves many questions unanswered, requiring viewers to piece together its subtleties, potentially over multiple viewings. While its lack of resolution may frustrate some, the anime's ambition shines through in its bold storytelling and unique presentation. It left me utterly confused and bewildered by the time the credits rolled at the end of its finale, but beyond that confusion was a wave of nostalgia, loss, and longing more intense than I'd felt for a piece of art in a long, long time. Coming right after that, we've got Ascendance of a Bookworm. There is nothing wrong with your typical escapist fantasy shows. Anime often provides a means to step away from reality and indulge in exciting, tension-free adventures. While Isekai usually thrives in this format, a few shows challenge these conventions. Ascendance of a Bookworm introduces Urano Motosu, a bibliophile reincarnated as Mine, a frail and sickly girl born into poverty in a rigidly classist fantasy world. Deprived of books, Mine resolves not just to find, but create her own. This series explores complex themes with refreshing maturity, driven by a protagonist whose singular passion for books brings a rare dimension to the genre, primarily occupied with swords and sorcery. Our penultimate entry goes to another gem of the 90s, The Vision of Escaflowne. Hitomi Kanzaki rarely gave her prophetic visions much thought, until one foretold her life being upended by a dragon-slaying prince. After being transported to the world of Gaia alongside Prince Van, Hitomi must aid him in uncovering the secrets of the powerful Gaimelef mecha. The Vision of Escaflowne became a 90s classic thanks to its gripping story, stunning animation, and masterful execution of isekai tropes. It's also one of the more unique entries on the list due to its setting, which seamlessly blends medieval fantasy with mecha elements, turning two seemingly conflicting genres into a cohesive, beautiful whole. This unique approach cements Escaflowne as not only a standout isekai, but also one of the best anime of its era. Finally, we'll close out our list with a show we've talked about before on the channel, Jobless Reincarnation. We've said here before that this show follows the structure of an ideal isekai. A person without hope finds a second chance at life in another world and tries to do better, to be better. Rudeus is a complicated character, and he has a bit of a reputation for good reason too. He's proud and rash, and he's kind of, how do we put this, perverted. He's far from perfect, and neither is the world he's thrust into. However, each one of the people he meets changes him in little ways and he gets better. Beyond the personal struggles of the protagonist, the world crafted in this show is beautifully built and populated with diverse tribes, races, and magic. Rudeus tries to find his family after they were ripped apart by a cataclysmic event, and we root for him, we curse him, and everything in between. Great magic, great world building, fascinating characters, Jobless Reincarnation has got it all. There are a bunch of other projects that could have just as easily made this list, but we chose to limit our entries to shows instead of movies. That's why there's no Ghibli on here, among others. Perhaps we'll make a second part in time, but if Isekai is your thing, then surely you must have found something to catch your eye from the shows we did mention. There's nothing quite like being transported to another world, is there? Anyway, that's all we have for today, folks. Do you agree with our picks? Maybe there are some great Isekai shows I left out. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. Please subscribe if you haven't already, and ring the notification bell to get regular updates on new videos. I make awesome anime and manga content like this every week, so be sure to check them out. Thanks for watching, and bye for now.